last week or this week, our subject was array. So we will continue with the same subject. I think we stopped until here, some examples of the array. Then we will start to speak about multidimensional array. Okay, I already mentioned multidimensional array during our lecture, but now we will take more details about multidimensional array. Okay, so let me just in this one. Okay, I will share the screen again. Okay, so multidimensional array means array more than one dimension. Until this slide, all our examples is about one dimension arrays that have only like this one dimension. Yes, but now we will start with multi-dimension array. Multi-dimension array that we have more than one dimension, maybe 2 dimensions, 3 dimensions, 4 dimensions. Okay, usually we use 2 dimension and for data, and 3 dimension usually to store points, because points usually in the space have X and Y and Z. So examples for multi-dimension array like 2 dimension, we name it matrix. Okay, we have rows and columns. So we have rows and here we have columns. So if we have 2 dimension rows and columns, this means it's 2 dimension, or it's named a matrix. Usually we define matrix like this: data type, then the name of the matrix, then number of rows, number of columns. Okay, so in this matrix we have 5 rows, 9 columns. This is a matrix. We have 5 rows. It starts the index of this rows from 0. So we have row 0, row 1, row 2, row 3, and row 4. It's 5 rows. And number of columns, depending on this definition, is 9. So it's indexed from 0, 1, 2 until 8. Okay. This is a matrix or 2-dimensional array. We could have also 3-dimension array. Same idea. If I want to define 3-dimension array, I will define data type of the array, for example, integer, float, anything. Then name of the array could be, for example, D or dimension or anything. Then we have 3 dimensions. You can imagine the dimensions as X, Y, and Z, or you can imagine the dimensions as a block. How many blocks we have? For example, 3 rows and columns. We will see how to imagine this 3-dimension. As a human, we can imagine 3-dimension, 2-dimension, but more than 3-dimension, we can use in the computer, we can use in C language, but we cannot imagine it as human. Okay, so to define 2-dimension array or to reach items of 2-dimension array, we need 2 for loops. First for loop for rows, second for loop for columns. So to move inside the rows, we will use first for loop, the outer for loop, the inner for loop to move inside columns. That's why, see, the counter of the outer for loop, we use this counter for the row, the counter of inner loop, we use it for the columns. This one, the row, this one, the column. So like this, we can reach all the items of the array. So if we have 2-dimension array, we can read all the items or print all the items using 2 for loops, or we can simply reach any item by identify which row and which column. For example, if we have this array, and this array have 4 or 5 rows and have some columns. Okay, it doesn't matter how many columns, how many rows. This one index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This one also index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So if this array, for example, its name A, to reach this element, it's at row 1, column 2. So we can reach it by A 1, 2. So if we said A1, 2 equal 5, for example, this means we go to row index 1, column index 2, where's the intersection between the row and the column? This is the element. Then we give it a value. Okay, let me just clear this one. Okay. So, for example, if we have matrix M and we want to get the summation of all the elements, we can use this code. Summation initial value as 0, then get all the elements, element by element, add it to the summation. Okay. To give initial value, we can use this for loop to give initial value as 0 if we have integer array. Find the minimum and the maximum. It's easy also for multi-dimension array. The idea, you can imagine it as 1-dimension array. The idea here, to reach all the elements, you need to use 2 for loops. 1 for the row, 1 for the columns. So we reach all the elements, we can get the minimum and the maximum. We consider the minimum as first element. If you imagine an array like this, so I don't know how many columns this part from code, not the whole code, but it's start from 0, 1, 2, 3, and so on. Here we speak about 5 rows and 9 columns, okay, until 8 here. And here 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. To reach or to get the maximum and minimum, we consider first element as the minimum. So this element 0, 0. So 0, 0, we consider it as a minimum, and we consider it as maximum. So we take first element, then we compare it with each element. To get each element or all elements from the two-dimension array or the matrix, we can use two for loops, one for the row, one for the column. Then we compare each element. If it's less than the minimum, then minimum equals this element. Another if statement. If same element more than the maximum, then the maximum value becomes this element. After finish, you will have the minimum inside min and the maximum inside max. Okay, let's write this code, but instead of make initial value here, I will read from the screen, the values, okay? I will read the values from the screen. Or we can give initial value. Let's see the initial value first, then how to initialize a multidimensional array. We can initialize, give some values as initial value for multidimensional array like this. If we have this array, 5 rows, 9 columns, we can imagine it as array that contains one-dimension array. This like a one-dimension array. So this row 1, row 0, sorry. This row 1, this row 2, row 3, okay, and row 4. Okay, as you can see, each row we have begin and end, and we have the elements. This one, the columns inside the row. First column inside first row, or column 0 inside row 0. Column 1 inside row 0. Column 2 inside row 0 until column 8 inside row 0. Then this one, column 0 inside row 1 until column 8 inside row 1, and so on until we reach here, column 8 inside row 4. So each one here, row, each one here, column. Okay, what if we give only some rows or some data inside the rows? All the remain will be filled by 0. So this one have 5 rows, 9 columns. We give 2 rows, 1, 2. This means the other 3 rows will be filled by 0. Even if you give some columns, not all columns, the remain will be filled by 0. Okay, so like this example, we have also 5 rows, 9 columns. Here we give 9 columns. Okay, here we give 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns. The 3 remaining columns will be 0. Here we give 5. the four remain columns will be 0 also, will be filled by 0. Row 3 and row 4 all will be filled by 0 also. So let's create a code for uh, two-dimension array. Give initial value for this two-dimension array, and then try to find the maximum and minimum value, and try to get the summation also for the two-dimension array or the matrix. Okay, so a new file, we nice with 12 matrix. Okay, so include studio h. I will define the size here. Define row as, let me make it smaller a little bit, as 4. Define columns as 7, enough. Okay, so integer I will name this or m, okay, as row and column equal. Okay, now I will make initial value as number of rows here 4, number of columns 7. So we need 4 rows. Okay, let me just make it first empty, then I will fill the numbers. Okay, sorry. Okay, I want to copy and paste 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we have 4 rows. Okay, inside each row we have 7 columns. Let's say any number, 5, 8, 4, 2, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think 6 enough. It's too much for us to write all these numbers. Okay, 10, 3, 1, 20. We can say 5, 15, 30, anything. 1, 2, 3, 4. Because any remain numbers will be 0, so I don't want any number as 0 as initial value because I want to get the minimum and the maximum. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 columns. Okay, like this, we have initial value inside a matrix with 4 rows, 6 columns. Now let's define integer sum to get the summation equal 0 as initial value, and integer minimum. We will consider the first element 0, 0 as the minimum, then we will compare it with all other values. Integer maximum, also we will consider first element in the array or in this matrix as the maximum. Then now we need to reach all the elements in this array. How to reach all the elements? We need 2 for loops. For integer I equals 0, I less than number of rows now, which is inside row I. This row, it's only a constant value. You can remove it and use the number 4, or you can change the size at any size. Okay. I need another for loop, inner for loop, integer j, this for the columns, equals 0, and j. If you have any comments or any things you want to ask or to speak, you can open the mic and speak, then close the mic, okay? But don't keep the mic open during the lecture, only if you have a question. Okay.
I have a question, teacher.
Yes, go ahead.
Does it make a difference if we put the integer minimum and max before the columns?
Yes. If you put this one here,
Yeah.
of course, it's a big difference. Let me show you something. Okay, compile. What do you have? Error, M undeclared. How to use M before you define it?
Okay, so we need to define it first.
Yes. And even if you define it without initial value and you are waiting to read the initial value from the keyboard or something like this, then you have to postpone this after reading the values, because we try to get first value. If first value not exist, it will take it as 0. So the minimum will stay 0 even if you change the values, yes? Then
Yes.
you need to define this, the minimum and maximum, after you get all the values inside the matrix. So after that, you can get first one as minimum and maximum, then compare it with all other values. That's what we're going to do now. Now, if you do like this, of course, we have problem because we did not give here after the for loop the complete of the code. Okay, so in this code, we need to do two things. We need first to get the summation. So sum plus equal all the elements of the array, which is from this for loop. So the array, it's M, the rows I, and the columns J. Like this, we get the summation of all the elements of the matrix. Now let's see what's the minimum and maximum value. We will check if the value from the element, this is the element of the array, less than the minimum, then the minimum is this value. So minimum equal MIJ. So same idea like the one-dimension array. The only difference that we need two for loops to get all the elements of the array. I just copy and paste to get also the maximum. What's the difference here? If the item more than, not less than, now more than the maximum, then the maximum is this element of the array. Now we get the summation, the minimum, maximum. Let's print this information. So printf the summation equal, okay, %d the minimum element, also %d. %d means the format and the place of the variable that we will print on the screen. Maximum also %d. So we have here, we will get the sum. Here we will get min. Here we will get max. So we need three variables: sum, min, and max in order. First one for first %d, second one for second %d, third one for third %d. Okay, so let's now see. Minimum will be 1, maximum will be 30, yes. And the summation I did not sum yet, okay, but for sure it will be correct, inshallah. Okay, it's take long time, why?
Is there any problem in loop? Because you don't put I plus plus and G plus plus, I guess.
Oh, I forget to thank you for I did not see it. Okay, thank you. Yes. I forget the increment for I and J. Yes, sure. So the minimum 1, the maximum 30, and this summation. Okay, so let's continue. Before I continue, how many of you get more than 80? Just raise your hand if you get more than 80 in the midterm. Okay, I think Salma more than 90 and I didn't Raul also more than 90, I think. Yes. Yes, I remember that. Or I didn't, I'm not sure. But I remember all, I think you get 98 or 95, something like this.
Sir,
Yes.
I have a problem with my OBC account. Can I texting you in a Telegram to tell me about my mark? Please.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Okay, after the lecture, not now.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Okay.
Doctor, my friend, the
Yes.
degree is 1. Is there anyone took 1 or is it problem in OBC?
Sorry?
His degree, he found his degree is 1. Is it right or is problem in
What
OBC?
his
Is there
name?
anyone?
Okay,
Ahmed.
wait. Ahmad, which group? Why he is not
Uh,
here?
I don't know, maybe his son is or something like that.
No, no, no. I know. Because he don't care, he don't attend. That's why he get 1, of course.
Is there anyone took
His
1?
name what? Ahmad what?
I
Ahmad
think
Farhoud.
for
Ahmad?
Farhood.
There is no one get 1. I don't remember this mark.
Yeah, that's what I said.
There is some students get 0, but 1. Let me check. Give me his. Okay, he get 1. Yes. Ahmad
Oh,
Farhoud. He even did not submit the homework.
oh,
So if he feels that he take more than 1, let him send me a message. I will show him what he get and from where. But I think if he get 1, this mean he almost did not answer anything.
I don't know.
Uh, who asked Yazid? Yazid, you what your full name and which group? Yazid in Najjar, yes?
Yes, right, teacher.
You did not submit homework also.
Teacher, didn't found this group in Telegram because I don't have I don't have friends from that group. I'm in the third year in this department.
I know your situation, but you have to follow us. You have to come at least to my office. You have to ask. Just you ignore everything and said, I
No,
don't
no,
have
I come,
friends.
but in the I come, but in the it's not the true time.
Your mark, I prefer you don't need to know it. You have a few hope in this lecture.
So bad?
Yes, it's very bad. I will send
Very
it.
bad.
Yes, I will send it to you in private.
Okay.
Just,
Thank you.
just, just send me message.
Okay, teacher. Thank you very much.
Oh, sorry. Oh, of course you did not get the marks. Like,
Sir,
No,
what
it
is
okay.
was
the
not.
class average
What happened?
for this midterm?
Uh, the
It
class
was written
average
in the
not
yes.
good. Don't just look to your mark because many students don't care actually. This is a programming one. Usually we have few students pass this course. Okay, so Let's speak about higher dimensional array, like 3 dimensions array. We have many types of 3-dimension array. If this array have 3 dimensions, same size, we called it cube, okay, array, or prism array if we have different dimension. We can imagine this 3 dimensions as here. Let me just, not this one, maybe this one more clear because it's smaller. Okay, imagine this 3 dimension. We have 3 blocks, block 0, block 1, and block 2. So 3 blocks, each block have 5 rows or 5 columns, okay, and 6 rows. You can imagine it like this. So this one, we can make initial value like this. First, you need the block. So block have this array, begin, end. This block, if you make begin means first block, it's need end. This first row, sorry, I mix between the rows and the columns. This one should be 4 rows and 5 columns, or 6 columns and 5 rows. This should be row, this should be column, and this block. You can imagine it anyway. It's like it's only depend on your imagination. Yes. So this columns for first row, this columns for second row. Okay, what about remain? All 0. So this one, first block, BL1 0. This second block, okay, second block means block 1. We have how many rows as initial value here? Only 1 row, first row, and first column. So this one, 0 row, column 0, row 0, column 1. Sorry, 1. Here, same idea. First row in first block. So block 0, row 0, column 0. Block 0, row 0, column 1. Block 0, row 0, this one, and this column 2. And so on. Here, this should be until column 5. This should be only until row 4, because we have 5 row from 0 to 4 and 6 column from 0 to 5. Okay. We can imagine the value of any 3-dimension array like this. For example, if we have in this one, this array, we called it prism, element 2 means a block 2, row 2, column 4. Okay. So if we have this size of 3-dimension array, so it's difficult to imagine which element. Actually, it's inside here. Okay, 0, 1, 2, but it should be the back of, so we can imagine it as 0, 1, 2, okay, and about the row 0, 1, 2, okay, and column for 1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is the element index. Of course, if you want the right direction, it will be at the back, but we can imagine it here just to know what we mean. We mean which block, okay, 1, 2, 3 blocks, rows, okay, you can flip it anyway, up, down. Just imagine. You don't need actually to imagine it at your head, but I make this one to let you imagine how to store the value, but you don't need it. You can use for loops, you can use element index only to reach any element. Usually we don't use in our exams and something like this, a 3-dimension array, but matrix 2-dimension, we use it too much, and a 1-dimension array, of course, it's in the exam. Okay, so in this 2-dimension array, we have 8 tests for 5 students. So we have 5 students. We can imagine each student data as a row. I think we have it here. Okay. So we can set this one student 0, this one student 1, this is student 2, student 3, and student 4. So we have 5 students. Each student, we want to keep data about 8 grades or 8 courses grades. So we need 8 columns, starting index from 0, of course, 1, 2 until 7. Okay, 5, 4, and 3. Okay, so to get 8 marks for 5 students, we need 2-dimension array. We can imagine each row for 1 student and each column for 1 course. So we create here a 2-dimension array or matrix with 5 rows for 5 students, 8 columns for 8 marks. Then we can read, we can print, we can do many things. Here we are trying to this only message for the user to give us first student exams, exam 1, 2, and so on. And here we read the marks, the grades of the exams. So each cell here, it's have a grade for the student, specific student in specific course. Okay. After that, we can do anything. We can get average for each student, average for the whole course. It's depend what you need to do about this data. Okay, you can imagine it like this here. 5 students, 8 exams, then each cell consider exam mark for specific student, specific exam for specific student. Okay, so let's do this example, summation of two matrix. If we have two matrix and we need to get the summation of this two matrix, let's do it. This two matrix from same size. Okay, someone will tell me, okay, but here I cannot see rows and columns. It's depend on how many columns. If you make it like this, only with one begin and one end, so the compiler will count number of elements in the column. So column equal 3 here. This mean 1, 2, 3. Okay. This number of column for row, first row. So this one, row 0. This one, row 1. And so on. There is no row 2 actually here. There is row 0, row 1. All remain data will be 0. Okay, so you can make it like this. Each row have begin, end, then comma, then begin, end. Or you can write all the rows, all the data directly like this. Then the compiler have to count how many elements in each row. Okay, number of columns means how many elements in each row. We have 3, then this first row, this second row, we don't have third row here. Actually, we have 2 rows, yes? So row 0, row 1. So this data complete data. 2 rows, each row have 3. Okay, 1, 2, 3 columns in the first row, 1, 2, 3 columns in the second row. So we have row 0, row 1. This means 2 rows. Okay, I will show you this, then we will do the summation for the matrix. We already did the summation for the array. It's same idea, okay? The matrix or the array, or we did summation for the matrix, sorry. But let's, we already did this one. This one, we already did this example. Let me, all this, I already did, okay. Here, he makes the summation for two matrix, this example, inside another matrix. Okay, this is another example. We have two matrix and we will make summation for this two matrix inside another matrix. So the idea, we need three matrix from the same size. We have first matrix, second matrix, and the summation will be inside third matrix. So this one only print first matrix. This one only print second matrix. This one makes the summation. First matrix plus second matrix. So matrix A plus matrix B, element by element inside matrix C. So matrix C will have the summation for the two matrix. You can imagine it like this. We have this matrix A with the 3 columns. So the elements, let me just clear this part. Okay, the elements in orders 5, 3, 7, 5, 3, 7, then 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2. And we have here matrix B also same size. This matrix P, it have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This is the data inside it. Okay, the code will make the summation inside matrix C, which is same size. It's have 3 columns, 2 rows. So inside C, we will take first element from here with first element from here. So we need only one for loop. This the row, this the column. So first element inside first element from C. So 0, 0, 0, 0. This is the element inside 0, 0 from C. That's why we need same IG, IG, IG in C, A, and B. So the result will be first element. So 1 plus 5, it's 6. 2 plus 3, it's 5. Then 3 plus 7, it's 10. Like this will be the result. Then 4, 5 plus 1, 6, 6 plus 2, which is 8. This result will be when we print it. Okay. Let's write this one and see the result. I prefer to copy first part from the code, this part, only the definition. Then we can write the remaining. Sorry?
Nothing. I said we can copy the first part, then copy the next part.
No, I will not copy all the code. Okay, just the definition, not more.
Also, I have a question. Are we gonna have an example for 3 dimension?
We can have, but it's not necessary for me. If you need, we can do it. I mean, usually we don't have a question about the 3 dimension, but if you want, we can make anything. If you need the summation, if you need anything, it's easy. Just instead of 2 for loops, you need now 3 for loops. Okay, if a 3 dimension. Each dimension need for loop, yes? We can make a 3 dimension. Okay. Okay, so we have 2 arrays and we make the summation here. First, let's print first array, then print second array or matrix, then make the summations inside third one and print it. How to print this matrix? We will print it using for loop, 2 for loops. For I equals 0. We don't need integer I because we already define it here as integer. I, which is the column, so the rows, sorry. So I less than row, I plus plus. I did not forget this time. Okay, begin, and another for loop. Same idea, but this time for J, which is the columns, J less than columns and J plus plus. Okay. Let me just put the begin end. Okay, we will print now the data. Print if let's say percent 5D. 5 means the space here. 5D. Okay, then the matrix, which is A, I, and J. Okay, so like this, we print the elements. Let me just go here, print if \n. Here, after each row, I will go down one row. So we will print it. Here, error expect declaration or statement at the end of input. Let me just check this one. Okay. There's a missing one here. Okay, so we printed first row and second row. Okay, there is no difference between make the rows like this okay, or put all the data together. It will give you same result because the compiler will count the elements, okay? First element, second element, third element, finish the first row, and so on, okay? Understand this point? Okay, same code, we will use same code to print the next array. We need before it also to get one line down. It's already get one line down here, I think. But now this second array, which is B, second matrix, just to print the second matrix here also. Okay, I think we need to, we can mention something here. Okay, matrix B. And we can copy here just some formatting like this. Matrix A. So we print matrix A and matrix B. Okay, we need one line down here. Okay, after we print matrix A and matrix B, now we will get the summation for the matrix. Okay, let's make same. We will get the summation and print the summation. To get the summation from matrix A and B and put it inside C, this summation of matrix A, this matrix A, this matrix B, and here's a summation. We don't want to print it. We will calculate it, then print matrix C. So matrix C element I, J, it's equal matrix A element I, J plus matrix B element I, J. So we have the summation of first element with first element from A and B inside first element of G, then second element, third element, and so on until finish all the elements. Let's print matrix C also. So I will print matrix C here. Like this, we get the summation for matrix A and B inside C, and then print matrix C. Okay, so we have matrix A, matrix B, and this is a summation. 5 plus 1 is 6, 3 plus 2 is 5, 7 plus 3 is 10, and so on. What if we have 3 dimensions? If we have 3 dimensions, okay, let's add 1 dimension here. Okay, imagine we have 2 blocks. Okay, 2 blocks matrix, 2 blocks matrix, or not matrix now, it's okay, prism, because it's not equivalent. If they are equivalent, then it's a cube. If they are 2, 2, 2, it's a cube. You can imagine it like this. We have now 2, 2, 2. This means 2 elements, okay, inside first row of the first block, then 2 elements inside second row of the first block, okay, then we finish first block. We need now second block, okay, you need here comma for the second block. This first block have 2 rows, 2 columns. Then second block also have 2 rows, 2 columns. Okay, so we can give any values here. But it's difficult to imagine it and print it. We can print each block separately, okay? Let's make it same data than the summation, because I don't want to write. This for the students who ask about 3 dimension. Now we have 3 dimensions here. Because it's a 3 dimension, we need another for loop. We need for loop for the blocks, okay? So this for loop for the block, I will call it, for example, k less than number of elements in the block and k plus plus. Of course, we need to define k. So if it's a 3 dimension, you need 3 loops to reach all the elements. If it's 4 dimensions, you need 4 loops and so on. Let me just copy and paste, because the idea will be same for all except that we have 3 loops, 3 for loops. Okay, please turn off your mic. So this one, we will add only k. So we have k, I, j. So we have also another to print each block separately. We can also name each block here. So I will name it block, okay, percent D. Then we go 1 line down. I will take number of the index of the block from K. Here, same code, only I go one line down after each block to print it as two-dimension array and another two-dimension array. So it's two blocks, two-dimension array and two-dimension array together become three-dimension array with two blocks. It's not necessary for me to focus too much about the three-dimension array, but I don't like to let one student ask without answering. Okay, I will give you the answer here only. This
Thank you very much.
summation. Okay, this is a summation, and each one, of course, need this one. Sorry, copy, because we forget here to put this end of this one. We need end for this one. And okay, now everything good except it's not a matrix now. It's a cube because 2 by 2 by 2, so it's cube. Okay, now let's run the code. Of course, we forget something here. Okay.
We forgot to add the K.
Okay, I forget here to add K. Yes. Let me add this K everywhere. Okay, so it will be here. This for B. This for C. And this for C. I think it should be okay. Yes. What's the code now? Okay, this cube A, first block, you can see here. First block have two rows, 5, 3, 0, 1. Second block for cube B have two rows, 0, 1. Sorry, 4, 2 and 3, 1. 4, 2 and 3, 1. So this cube A, this cube B. So cube B 5, 3, 0, 1 and 4, 2, 3, 1. And this cube C, which has the summation. Okay, 5 plus 5, which is 10. 3, block 0. Row 0, column 1. Block 0. Row 0, column 1, 3. 3 plus 3 equals 6, and so on. Okay, so like this, 4-dimension. Okay, 4-dimension. You can just put another dimension and you will imagine it yourself. I will not make the example for you. Okay, I think it's clear now. Each dimension should have for loop. Okay. I give here a question for you, but I already answered this question during our last lecture. Okay, on Tuesday, I answered this one. Write a C program to reverse a given array. You can try it at home. I already wrote it in our previous lecture. Okay. We can take okay, actually enough for today. I was planning to give the string also subject, but I think it's enough. Maybe next week, if we need more time, we can give. Anyway, like this, we finish this subject array. If you have any question before we end this lecture. I already sent the lecture note or not? Let me check. If I did not send the lecture note, let me send the lecture note for you. And after download this video, I will also send this video for you. Okay, so this is our lecture note.
Sir, you haven't sent.
I already sent it now.
The week 12.
Week 12. I
Yes.
already sent it now.
Okay.
Okay. So that's all. Good night. About the marks, just for your knowledge, all your marks, it's more than what you deserve if you submitted the homework. The problem with some students, they did not submit the homework. Okay. Hopefully you will give more efforts in the final exam. Everyone still have chance in the final exam, except of course if you get 0 or 1 in the midterm, then I think it's difficult to get full mark in the final exam. Anyway, as you know, the system, it's not about specific range for the marks. It's about the average of the course. So everyone have a chance, but you need to give more efforts in the final exam. Okay, good luck everyone, and see you inshallah next week.
See you.
See you, teacher.
You can leave. I will stop the recording. It will take some time